Okay. Welcome everyone to our webinar. We are so happy to have everyone here. As you very well know, we are here with Socorro, the director of Crecemos, and Jose Manuel, he's the operations coordinator. And they will share a bit about Crecemos' story and mainly the impact of your support. Really want to have this moment to share more about how donations and support and the friendship have really and had an impact on the work at Crecemos. So 9 years ago, we launched the Opportunity Campaign, inviting friends in the US to work alongside our colleagues in Mexico. And we've seen an incredible friendship grow and real change happening in our communities, both in the US and in Mexico. So we will ask Socorro and Jose Manuel to share about how this connection has shaped life in Oaxaca. But then at the end, we want to also hear from you, from all of you, how this relationship has changed your life. So I wanted to start with a question to Socorro. Okay, we have more people joining. Okay. Welcome everyone. So the first question to Socorro is to share about Crecemos' mission and how it has transformed lives.
Bueno, pues como siempre, muchísimas gracias por esta oportunidad de poder compartir con ustedes nuestro trabajo y hacernos sentir que no estamos solos, sino que para poder construir toda esta historia somos ahora sí que un pueblo, ¿no?
Good.
So Socorro saying thank you so much for this time together and for our support. She says that these moments and the friendship with us is really important for them not to feel like they're alone, because to build the work that they're doing, it takes all of us. And she says somos un pueblo. We are people. We are people doing this and not just individuals.
Bueno, justo el año pasado hemos trabajado mucho en nuestra nueva misión. Nos ha costado como mucho trabajo poder entender y expresar todo lo que significa esta obra, este trabajo para nosotros y poderlo poner en una definición. Se las voy a leer literalmente para compartirla.
Okay, gracias. So Socorro says, no, it's interesting that we asked the question about the mission because they spent a lot of time last year thinking about their mission and putting together a new mission statement because they really wanted to understand deeply what their work was all about and find a new and refreshed way to express it, to express what it means, and somehow to be able to define it for themselves and for others. So she's going to share their new mission statement with us.
Transformar los entornos de niños y juventudes de México que viven en condiciones de pobreza, marginalidad y desigualdad a través de estrategias de educación integral para que sean protagonistas de su propio futuro y de su comunidad.
Okay, you should have given me that. We should have had that written down, Chechi. Okay, so maybe it's Jose Manuel. Quizás tú puedes ponerlo en el chat.
Está la traducción.
Mientras que trato de traducirlo. Okay, so the new mission statement is that they intend to transform the environment for children and youth who are living in conditions of poverty and vulnerability through strategies including integral education and support to the family, or integral education and estrategias de integración.
So that they can be protagonists of their own future and community.
Con esta misión buscamos expresar que un lugar físico es necesario, o sea, que es un lugar físico, son personas, ¿no? Que se reúnen para cumplir una misión, que en nuestro caso son los 3 programas, que es nutrición, educación y prevención de riesgos sociales.
Okay. She says that the mission is emphasizing the need for a physical place, that a physical place is necessary where people can be together, again, physically, guided by and motivated by a mission, which for them is made concrete in their 3 programs. The 3 programs are education, nutrition, and
Prevención de riesgos sociales.
Risk prevention.
risk prevention.
Ajá. Bueno, cada programa tiene un objetivo muy concreto. O sea, el de nutrición es proporcionar alimentos sanos y nutritivos a los niños. El de educación es habilidades que les puedan desarrollar para que tengan un mejor desempeño en la escuela, ¿no? Como puede ser la música, la lectura, la cultura, el dibujo. Y la prevención de riesgos sociales lo hacemos a través del básquetbol y del fútbol. O sea, son estrategias educativas muy concretas que buscan objetivos para mejorar su salud y su educación.
Okay. So each of the 3 programs have very specific and concrete objectives in mind that they're working towards. So in terms of nutrition, it's about providing and teaching about healthy and nutritious food. Education, they intend to provide, skills that will help the children be successful in school, including music and computers and other things. Music, reading, culture, and art. And then the risk prevention program, they use sports, basketball and soccer, to help the youth be engaged, well, for good health, and also to be engaged in healthy activities.
Pero lo que hemos aprendido es que si esto no va acompañado con una propuesta de vínculos afectivos y relaciones personales, esto por cualquier circunstancia se puede perder.
Okay. So she's saying that above all, what they've learned is that if even these programs and these services aren't accompanied by a proposal to each of the children, of the youth, and a proposal of, she said, links of affection. So relationships full of affection and very personal ones. Then everything that they've tried to give and impart to these youth can be lost at any time. It's fragile unless it's connected with relationships that bring, that really reach each of the children, of the youth.
Sí, por eso también, aunque el objetivo directo son los niños, trabajamos mucho con las familias. Hacemos visitas domiciliarias que nos permiten entender la realidad de cada una de nuestras familias. Y eso no solo lo hacemos en el Centro María de Guadalupe, sino en todas las iniciativas que hacemos en escuelas, hacemos ese trabajo con las familias.
Yeah, so she's saying that although our direct objective, our direct goal is for sure the children, we also pay attention to the families. And so we spend a lot of time doing home visits and visiting the families one by one. And we do this first and foremost around the main Maria de Guadalupe Center in Oaxaca, but also in the rural communities where we work, this focus on families.
Voy a contar un pequeño testimonio que acaba de suceder, ¿no? A veces nos cuestionamos si tendríamos que tener un consultorio psicológico o una asesoría legal, porque hay muchísimos problemas por la violencia y todo lo que viven las familias, y entonces hay mucha demanda por golpes y de violencia y problemas pues de psicológicos con los niños. Pero he aprendido que no podemos resolver todo, tendríamos que tener despachos para todo.
Tenemos que tener despachos para todos.
Sí, o sea, como consultorio médico, psicológico, jurídico, y es imposible.
Okay. So, so she wants to share a witness of that happened recently, and she's prefacing this by saying that we've been asking ourselves recently whether we need to have more psychological help, support, counseling, even legal help. because the environment where they're in is there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of domestic abuse, and violence that's happening. So they're seeing that their families and the youth are very much struggling with a lot of psychological issues. So, they're coming to the conclusion or understanding this and saying to each other, we can't resolve everything. If we started to try to resolve everything, we would need a legal clinic, a mental health clinic, and all of these different things to be able to respond to the huge number of needs that they're encountering.
Entonces, siempre, bueno, en estas situaciones sí los apoyamos en canalizaciones, no es que nosotros directamente lo atendamos, pero lo que más nos ayuda a todos es, por ejemplo, esta mamá que está en el proceso de demanda, es acompañarla al juzgado, cuidarle a los niños, llevarles la torta para que coman. Y en un día fuimos a 3 delegaciones a conseguir actas, papeles. Al final no vas a solucionarle, sino acompañarla en todo este camino. Y me dice al terminar, ¿y cómo le puedo pagar o agradecer? Le dije, pues con que tú estés bien, eso es el pago mayor, ¿no? Y me dice, bueno, mi mamá es evangelista, entonces le voy a decir que ore por usted. Entonces entendí que el regalo más grande que uno puede recibir es este.
Okay. Okay, so she's telling us a story about a woman who is in a legal pero sorry, so one second. Socorro, una mamá que está en una demanda, quiere decir que ha sufrido una violación y está tomando la caso al corte.
Es un tema de patria potestad ahí con el esposo.
Okay.
Ese.
Okay, so there's a woman, one of their women, who is in a situation with her husband, and she's bringing the case to the court for violence or something against her. So she's bringing this case to the court, and Socorro and everyone from Crecemos is wondering how they can help her. They can't solve her problem, but they're accompanying her through the process. So collecting all of the documents, somebody's accompanying her to visit the judge. They're providing, helping with the kids while they have to do that, providing some food here and there when they're able to. They know that they can't solve the problem, but they at least want to be with her as she goes through it. And one time coming back from one of these hearings or court visits, the lady says to Socorro, how could I ever pay you back for all that you've done for me? And Socorro says to her, seeing you well and doing well is really all I need. That's really what I'm doing this for. And so I'm happy. And so, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And the woman says to her that she will pray for her. So that what she can do for Socorro is that she will pray for her. And so that's really what it's all about. Yeah.
Es ahí donde entendemos que es crear un espacio donde realmente uno puede ser acompañado en la vida en general, ¿no? Pero sí con propuestas como muy claras, que eso es lo que lo hace más rico para todos, porque todos crecemos en este camino.
Mm-hmm. So Socorro is saying, and so this example shows to me the importance of creating a space where people can be accompanied in life. And accompanied in life, not just in a loose way, but also with concrete proposals.
Yes, en resumida.
Okay, so that's in summary the mission of Crecemos.
Thank you, Soko. So actually, now I have a question for Jose Manuel. These past couple of years, you've received a lot of awards for your work. So I wanted to ask you if you could share a bit about those and also some challenges that you've encountered, yes, in the past few years.
Yes, but well, we are deeply pleased that APSI has proposed this opportunity not only to share with you the progress and lessons learned during the 2024, but also to strengthen our collaborative ties even further. For Crecemos, the 2024 has been a period of significant learning and progress. We have initiated a strategic plan which has been crucial in helping to adapt all the new realities and needs, not only for the world, but specific for Oaxaca. We understand how vital it is to maintain a constant reflection on the constants, and also we have to face the challenges, and we have made strides to continue support and commitment. And for that, all the I mean this context, we have, as you know, before in time, that we have a program that it calls Mi mamá es puro cuento y papá también cuenta, that in English it's not the same traduction, but we tell him my mom and dad tells me a story. And it aims to build a process, an educational process with a collaborative manner, with all the participation of the different actors of the society. This program participates not only Crecemos, we also have the participation of the local governments. We have the participation of the teachers of the schools, the educational system, and also the most important is to involve in this progress the participation of the parents and their children. How we do this? The last year, as Ceci told you, well, in 2023, we had the opportunity to get a prize as a good practice in the child development. And the last year, thanks to this prize, we have the opportunity to have the habilitation of 6 libraries, children libraries in 6 preschools, institutes, schools, preschools. And for our work has been important because it permits that we'll have the opportunity to be involved in the community, to know what their needs, to have the possibility to get a good companion. This program has different actions. The first one is that we gave them a library. They have a child library in their schools. This is a most popular activity because it's only to give books, as you can think, but it's not that the way we think that. We also make a space that before didn't exist, a space that you can be with your children, not only the teachers, but also the parents that came to these spaces. We have convert many spaces like, ¿cómo se dice bodega, Ceci?
Like a warehouse,
Storage?
a storage room, a storage room.
A storage room, right. Like a storage room that now are libraries. The direction office is now the library, and many spaces that it didn't exist before this. The next strategy is to have a seminary for the teachers. For us, it's really important that to construct a community, you have the participation of the teachers, and not only for us. So they are the responsibles to make this seminary and also to give the workshops to their parents. And of course, as you know, that they have a new ability, they can give it in the classroom with their children. No, that's for us really important. And thanks to this and other projects, the last week we had the possibility to close the cycle of activities with a calenda literaria, a traditional Oaxacan celebration that combines music, dance, and joy. For those who have visited Oaxaca, you know that the calenda is a vibrant procession that reflects the essence to our culture. So you know that the calenda, during this event, we get involved like more or less 1,000 of persons, 600 children, and also their parents, teachers, the authorities, and we made a line distance from the municipality of Asunción Ochitlán to the sports space in the community. So there were storytellers, and also we have the opportunity to see what was the work the parents did in their workshops, no? So every school get an interaction, knows them the many forms. And also that was important because that was the first calenda literaria in the area.
Sorry,
And
Jose Manuel. Sorry to
yes,
interrupt you, but you're talking about a calenda. A calenda is like a big festival.
yeah, it's a big, it's a festival. Here in Oaxaca is the recorrido, ¿cómo se dice, Jackie?
A recorrido, well, recorrido is like a path, like
Acá,
como un sendero.
yeah, es como el inicio de una fiesta.
Okay, it's the
Que
beginning of
vas en una calle.
Okay, it's the
O sea,
beginning
no
of
es
a
como
party.
que,
It's like a procession.
yeah, it's
Like
a procession. It's a
Outdoor
party procession.
procession.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So
But
he was with the books in the middle.
books. Okay. Like
Parade.
a book, like a
Maybe
book
parade.
fair. Huh?
Like a
Parade.
parade. Okay, yeah.
Mm.
Like a parade.
Yeah.
But all around reading.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was the first one in the Asunción Nochixtlán, in the area. And one of the storytellers told me a testimony that I it seems important to say to you. It's the first calenda literaria that I know that it's the finishing of an educational process. That was important. I mean, you can do a calenda literaria every time you want, but it's like only activity. And it was the finishing of an educational process. So that was really meaning for us, because that's the idea we have of the education. No? It's not only an activity, it's a possibility to get new opportunities for the persons. It's not only to make a library, it's an opportunity for the future. And we this year we have been betting the first the initial years of a life of a children, no, the 3 to 6 years.
Yeah.
And
So I think if I can just stress what you're saying, Jose Manuel, for everyone to really understand. So
yes,
we've been working in these rural communities, building the library, working with the parents and the teachers. You know, it's a beautiful, comprehensive strategy, but ultimately it's simple. It's helping
Yes.
parents feel confident that they can read to their children, even if many of them aren't literate themselves or aren't
Yes.
fully literate, but giving them the confidence that they can still even, read books together, or at least look at the pictures and talk about the stories, whatever they're able to do. And the whole community has been caught up in this excitement about reading.
yes,
So he's saying that this procession wasn't just a one-time thing to say, oh, we love books, but it was the end of this whole process.
yes.
And for sure there was music, right? Jose Manuel, band.
Well, that's the next step I was going to tell you. In this year also, in 2024, we have the opportunity to strengthen 2 children's and youth bands with wind instruments in the communities of San Francisco Chindua and San Andres Andua. And these 2 bands participate in the Calenda Literaria. It means we united the 2 projects that for us are really important to develop a community: the musical project and the reading project. This other project of music, it consists to promote the peace, the culture of peace in this community by the music, by the helping to know that the music is the way we can build peace in these communities. And also the next week we finish this project. I mean, when we said we finished, it's because it was a project of 1 year. But the intention of the Crecemos is to be aware in this project. No, it's not the finish of the musical project. It's only a step in this way. And also we are going to present the new band of the children of San Francisco Chindua. There we will have 2 bands, and also in San Andres Andua 1 band. So we are going to support them to build to strengthen. And that are the 2 most important projects we have this year. But also in Monte Alban, we are trying to work strongly in the violence. We are a crisis of severe violence in the area. So also by the sports school, we have to work more with young persons, no? we need to bring more opportunities in Monte Alban. As you know, it's near the city, it's in the city, and the difficulties are different. There are the problems similar as in the past, but there are less interest to get away of these problems. The social media, for someone's, it's more a problem and it's not a solution to get away in this. So in summary, this has been a brief overview of the achievements of Crecemos has made during 2024. So we are deeply grateful for the support we have received and for the opportunity to continue building a better future in these communities with what we work with. Thank you very much. Sorry for the English a little bit.
No, you're doing great, Jose Manuel. So yeah, the next question is which are the programs that are going to continue now that some of them are done? Is there some continuity or yeah, what is the plan there?
Yes, by this planning strategic, we thought that we need to still be in these three programs, but we need to focus on the areas we are going to work. The last years, I think we were trying to open libraries to make the program. It's in one area, yes, but we think we have to get focused on what we need to do. So we are selecting 5 communities in the Mixteca region, where is the band, who can be here in Oaxaca. I think we went to the Mixteca the last two or 3 years with the Come and See program, and also Monte Alban is our home, no? We have a challenge because in Mexico the funding is being adjusted to specific geographic areas, the funding. So for us, it's very important to see where are we going to go for the funding thing, because it's very important. And also, we are going to be focusing on the methodology of Crecemos and also its ABSI. We need to focus in the family visits, because it's where we can know the families, where we can know their stories, because every family is different. We cannot see them as the same. We are working, if we have 1,000 beneficiaries in the year, we have the challenge that we need to see every family as just one. I mean, a person has a name and has a last name. So it's not only a number, because it's a great challenge in the social organizations, not only to see the numbers, just see the persons. So I think the most important thing we are going to do this year is we are staying with the 3 programs, but we are focusing in the communities we are working with.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. And so how can we from the US help you achieve these goals and continue these programs? How can our donation help implement all of these ideas and these plans?
Bueno, para nosotros ha sido siempre fundamental el apoyo porque nos ha permitido permanecer en el Centro María, sobre todo en el Centro María de Guadalupe, porque es un lugar que es como una casa. Me explicó que necesita estar en buenas condiciones, el mantenimiento, toda una estructura, ¿no? Entonces, a nosotros el apoyo que siempre hemos recibido.
Parte de la traducción.
El apoyo que siempre hemos recibido de parte de ABSI nos ha permitido seguir realizando las actividades del Centro María de Guadalupe con la dignidad y el cuidado que tratamos de tener, por un lado, y por el otro, también nos ha dado como mucha capacitación o crecimiento profesional, que creo que es una de las cosas que nos ha ayudado a crecer, no en tamaño, sino como en estructura. Entonces, estos son los puntos que APSI siempre nos ha cuidado mucho.
So, Socorro was saying that, yeah, the support that she and that Crecemos has received from AFSI over the years has and continues to be very fundamental for them. And she's pointing out that AFSI's support in particular has allowed them to remain at the center, the Maria de Guadalupe Center in Monte Alban, which is their house, their home, the center of Crecemos. But like any house, that the center needs maintenance. It needs to be kept up in terms of structure. And so our support allows them to maintain the Maria de Guadalupe Center with the dignity and the care that it needs. And in addition to the support that directly, most directly benefits the center in Oaxaca and Monte Alban, they've also benefited a lot from different training opportunities and just professional capacity building that they've received from AFSI over the years and continue to.
I was showing you some photos.
Yeah, they're great.
So you can see a little bit of a story. This one is the calenda. Well, it's part of a calendar. If you see this of the parade and the band, and it's like a feast that you look around the community. This is the calenda literaria was the second calendar these young people have been doing. The first one was on August, was the first one. And also, but they have spaces that they didn't before have with the books. As you can see the mothers, the program is for both father and mother, but also the most participants are mothers. And this workshop also it's a form to understand that it's a space to self-care for the mothers that they don't have it. This is a school where they have the teachers receiving a seminary. And she is Aquilina. Aquilina is a teacher from the Mixteca that also participates, not only like they receive the seminary, she also already gives part of the seminary and also help us to get the companion to all the schools. This is a family, part of the visits. It's not only to see where they live, so how they live, like their stories, because every family in Crecemos receives a hug, because there are different stories. This library was supported by APSI. It's in a place where there is a forest and there is a lot of wood, so you can see how is the library. It's a cabaña, no sé cómo se dice cabaña.
A cabin.
Yeah. And this is the goal, to have them happy, as you can see. Thank you.
If I could, Chechi, just jump in with one more quick question. Some of the people on the call have been to Oaxaca with us in the past and got to experience music and Monte Alban in particular. And when we were there with some of our friends here, we got to experience violin and guitar classes, which were amazing and beautiful and blew us away. Just tell us again the band that you have now with the brass instruments. Maybe you have the picture there still of the band, Jose Manuel. But tell us again why in the rural communities you decided to do a band rather than violin and guitar.
Yes. Well, Oaxaca is a cultural state here in Mexico. It's the most cultural place in Mexico. So the instruments that there are for culture, the most important in the communities, in the rural communities, are the wind instruments. Many of you maybe think about the orchestra. It can be, but here is a band. So if you know, in July here in Oaxaca there is the Guelaguetza, and when the Guelaguetza is coming, every dance se toca, o sea, la toca una banda. It plays the band, a wind band. So for us was important to put there a band. Also, violin, the last year, we are working with the first HS children here in Monte Alban. We have like a 15 children from 4 years to 6 years that they are starting with violin. And also we have teclado, well, piano, like teclado, and also guitar with the most younger guys.
It's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to open the floor to also our guests. I would like to, so now Socorro and Jose Manuel shared about all their work. I would love to hear from the donor perspective or the volunteer perspective how this relationship has, what has it meant for your life. I wanted to ask Laura in particular to share a bit about her experience organizing these fundraising events to support Crecemos, and then everyone is welcome to ask any questions if you want to hear more stories about the kids at the center or share about your own experience. I welcome that. Thank you.
Thank you, Cecilia, and of course, Jackie, Socorro, and Jose Manuel for organizing the call and being on the call, because I really think that for us, even though we cannot be all together in person, like, you were saying before, Socorro, this community, but it is, right? It's like seeing all of you and hearing from all of you the incredible work, honestly, that you have been doing. Like, we need some of the work here too, honestly, like, with our own parents, with our own kids. And it's really moving. It's truly moving. So yeah, for us, and also Sabrina couldn't be on the call today, but she says hi to all of you. So for sure, for us, having these calls, for Sabrina to come and visit, but also for you guys to have been able to come to Boston and meeting you and meeting all the people at the parish and the people with whom we have been doing fundraisers, right? So for us, it really started now a while ago, 2017 or 18, when we had our first fundraiser that was very small. But I think that the friendship with all of you has grown so much that people, if we don't do a fundraiser, people start asking, okay, when is the fundraiser happening? And we usually do two, one during Advent and one during Lent at the parish, where most of us go, and the pastors are very supportive. Yeah, and people look forward to it. So we have so many people who want to donate things that they make. So we really, initially we were doing we always propose something, and we try to draw from what you propose, like music. We did some musical events, and we always have carols around Advent time. Today we actually had a fundraiser this morning where we proposed art. So we had this exhibit on mosaics around Italy in churches. And we had these mosaic kits that we sold, and people could gather together to make the mosaic together. So, and then they would bring the final product at home. And it really creates community even there on how to look at the work that we do together, right? So the idea of the mosaic this time was that really, in the same way that these artists were putting together these little tiles in these mosaics, we are doing the same, right? We are not solving the problems that these kids have and the poverty and all of that, but we are doing our little contribution with the little tiles that we put, right? And we are contributing to this beautiful work that you just described that it's really moving. It's really moving. Usually we send a thank you email. Afterwards, I'm going to quote some of the things that you shared because they're incredible. So yeah, so for us, it has become something that the community and like the parish community and the people that we invite, they really look forward to, right? So it's beautiful to see how this has become something that belongs to them. And again, this friendship with you and having the opportunity to really see you guys like now, it's really crucial. So thank you.
Happy.
Thank you, Laura. Do you have any other questions? Anyone else would like to share? Irene?
Yes, I felt a little because what I do is very small. My trip to Crecemos has really been a life-changing experience for me, because it wasn't anymore what the situation of these people is very much touches my own. I am a teacher and I am a mom, and I saw moms and teachers, and I saw kids that are like mine, and my situation might be more privileged, but in the end, I'm afraid of the same thing. I remember I was talking to this mom, and she says the thing I'm afraid for my kids are and vices and drug. She will stay. And that's what I'm afraid too. I mean, that they get, that they don't have something that is beautiful and good for their life and they throw it away. And so when I came back, the idea of organizing big fundraisings was generated anxiety to me, and the idea I wanted on one side, but it was like, so I said, you know what, I'm going to do a small thing that is in my school. So I do two things around Christmas. In my school, I make this typical Italian dessert that my students like, and I sell that. And then we had a little concert in my house. I invited the friends, and there was one of our friends who sings very well. She sang, and the other was playing the harp and singing. And it was a beautiful event. But what, so for me is, I can do that. That I can do, and I don't want to not do that. I really want to do that. But also it's the possibility for me to talk to my students about Crecemos, and they like open their eyes like this. So then the day that I bring my desserts, like there is a line, I should make like 10 times more of the dessert because they really want it, and I see that they want to participate. And so my colleagues say, no, give the dessert to the kids, but here is my donation, here is my donation. But what's important for me, that I can tell them what's happening, that this thing exists, that is great. And then when we had the concert with my friend, it was in the middle of the Christmas vacation holidays, and I knew that if there was a big event, there was yet another thing to go. Everybody's busy, everybody's organizing Christmas, etc. Everybody's going, and they like to relax at a certain point, and not yet another fundraiser. Instead, this was in my house. We had just coffee, and so it was like friends meeting together for Christmas, relaxing and listening to this beautiful thing. And again, that collected some extra money. So for me, it's this. There are many things that are happening that I would like to participate, but I really strongly feel that God is asking me, because He gave me Crecemos. He put Crecemos in my heart. So He's asking me to keep this friendship with Crecemos. And I feel it's very part of me. So last year I turned 60, and I gave a party for my 60s. And I told everybody, I won't give me donation for Crecemos. Because for me to be 60, I want to celebrate my 60 also with my Crecemos friends, because they are in my heart.
Thank you, Irene.
Thank you, Irene. Yeah, are there any other questions?
I want to say something. Mostly, my son is pushing me to say, you need to tell what we did. And so, no, I think, Rena, what you were saying really resonated with me in the sense that, I live in New York, I have a family, I work. So sometimes the idea of starting something big seems so daunting, right? And at the same time, you have in your heart this desire to share what you have seen. And this year we were so blessed that we were able to go to Oaxaca. So for me, that was one of the first things. Like, we were deciding what to do for our vacation, and I said, you know what? I think there is a place that could be a really beautiful vacation for our family. I didn't know how beautiful it would be. I think, when we then met Socorro and Jose Manuel and their family, and I think it definitely exceeded any expectations that we could have had. And Oaxaca as well, like the beauty of the city and everything around it. Everything was really beyond anything that we could imagine. But we invited. Why are you laughing? I think my son agrees. But Leo, adesso sto parlando. Aspetta un attimo. Okay. And then, sorry. And then we invited a friend of ours, right? So we had this idea, and we said, we have these other friends. We know that they would love it. We invited them to come. Leo, can you be quiet? I'm trying to talk. Sorry. He's too excited about this thing now. And we invited them to come, and they came with us, and then with them, when we came back, it was Advent, and I'm really passionate about books. I remembered all the libraries that Socorro and everything and everybody had, and I said, I love when I can read the good books with my kids, and so it was Black Friday here, and I ordered a ton of books, and I said,
Yes,
okay,
she did.
yes, and and then we saw them in few occasions. All books that we thought would be helpful for our families to live in a meaningful way. The preparation for Christmas, and that was something easy, and I felt like easy. I mean, nothing is easy, but in a way, like it was easy, meaning that it took into account what was my passion, what was the mission of Crecemos, and what was the energy that I could give in that moment, right? I couldn't organize huge things. I don't have a huge house where I could host people. That was what I could do. And, maybe it's not gonna change the whole financial situation of Crecemos, but I think the image of the mosaic is really good one, like where everybody puts one little piece. But anyway, so we're very grateful. I really hope that more and more people can go, because I think seeing, being there is truly incredible. But also the witnesses that we share, really, I hope that can move hearts of the people around us.
Thank you.
Sorry, in fact, actually, Maristelle, if I can jump in, I think that's what we have experienced, right? That it started very small for us. It was very, very small, just what you described. But then people were so moved, right? The little by little, they wanted to donate, they wanted to help. And that's how we got to being able to do something a little bit bigger, which is still not huge, but because there is this, when you see something beautiful, you want it for yourself, right? And so you want to be part of that. And that's why, like, again, like the mosaic is, you just give the little tile, and then God will ask you more, maybe, and if you can give more, you will, but He will also give you other people to work on that. And I think that's beautiful, right?
Yeah, if I can jump in, I did see that, not for related to fundraisers, but so I've been sharing the link to the documentary about Crecemos to some friends after I came back from my latest trip, and specifically I shared it with a friend who is a teacher, and so I just told her, look, this is something beautiful that I saw. If you would like to propose it to your students and in one of your classes. And she did. And then afterwards, another friend who is a teacher herself, she said, oh, I showed it to my students as well, and they loved it. And we talked about like what poverty means, and like all of these things that people need aside from basic food. And so it was just beautiful to see like this ripple effect on others. And yeah, like all these questions, all these discussions starting because of the documentary. Yeah, so if there aren't any other questions, I wanted to conclude just by asking Soko and Jose Manuel if you would like to share your favorite story, or if you would like to talk about a boy or a girl that particularly impressed you, and how their life was touched by Crecemos.
es muy difícil escoger tantos años a una persona. Todos tienen algo muy especial que nos han aportado, ¿no? Creo que escuchándolas, primero les agradezco porque creo que esto es lo más importante, que se genera una amistad, ¿no? Y eso es lo que sostiene este tipo de obras que en un mundo caótico pareciera que todo se divide y viendo esto dices, este es el milagro más grande, ¿no? Que esta belleza y esta unidad. Creo que es, para mí es un
Perdón,
comienzo,
Socorro.
así, perdón.
Yeah. So she's saying it's difficult to choose. So many years have gone by, and there's so many stories, so it's difficult for her to choose one. She says that every single person and individual that they've worked with has brought them something special. But she says, first of all, she wants to thank all of us, all of you, because the most important thing that we're witnessing here together among us is has been that a friendship has been born. A friendship has been generated, and it's really the friendship that sustains their work much more. She didn't say this, but much more than the money, I would say. It's the friendship that sustains this work. And in this chaotic world that we're in which everything tends to want to divide us, we're having an experience of a friendship and of a unity that's very helpful. Okay, yeah.
Bueno, les voy a compartir la historia, a lo mejor algunas de ustedes sí la conocieron, es Vicky. Vicky tiene 6 hijos y ellos han asistido con nosotros más de 10 años. Y es una forma de ver realmente cómo una obra de mediano y largo plazo tiene un impacto muy sólido en la vida de las familias, ¿no? Como la importancia de estos espacios es lo que ayuda a estos cambios, no solamente en la salud, en la educación, sino en la parte humana, en la parte de relaciones que es muy complicada.
So she's going to tell us about Vicky, who many of us have met. Any of us who've gone have probably met Vicky. She is a woman who lives right by the Crecemos Center in Monte Alban. She has 6 children. And for more than the past 10 years, the children have been going to Crecemos and have been a part of their life. And so Vicky's story shows us that works like Crecemos is doing, which are really medium to long term, not short term. Medium to long-term work has a big impact that's very solid. So the physical space that Crecemos offers helps people to change, not only in terms of health and education, but especially in terms of relationships, the ability to be in a relationship. Sorry.
Por ejemplo, en su familia se creía aquí en México que el pueblo mexicano era de baja estatura por cuestión de raza, pero ya se han hecho muchos estudios y definitivamente la nutrición influye en la estatura. Entonces, por ejemplo, ahí todos sus hijos se ha visto como ya son altos, o sea, para la media nacional son altos en la parte de nutrición. En la parte de la música, ellos actualmente son de los avanzados y ya tienen su grupo musical en la iglesia. Ellos tocan las misas. Y en la parte, por ejemplo, deportiva, han sido chicos súper brillantes que hasta se los han querido llevar a buenos equipos, ¿no? Entonces ahí es la muestra en cuanto a la cuestión de trabajo, cómo una buena educación y un buen acompañamiento desarrolla todas las habilidades que ellos tienen. Es como decir, una oportunidad les cambia la vida, ¿no?
So she's telling us that in Vicky's family, so she's using Vicky's family again as an example to say that in Mexico, there is this long held belief that Mexicans were short because of genetics or because of, right, that's how they were. but you can see if you look at Vicky's kids who've had the benefit of good nutrition since they were really little, they're very tall. They're taller than average. And they kind of point out the fact that actually a lot of the short stature of most Mexicans, especially indigenous ones, has to do with malnutrition. And then in terms of music, Vicky's kids are super advanced in music. They've been playing guitar and violin for years, and now they have their own music group and they play at mass. She said they're also brilliant in the sports and have played for many years and have gotten themselves picked up by good teams in the area. So Vicky's family shows that good education and good accompaniment over a number of years really bears good fruit. Socorro, al final dijiste una oportunidad
De calidad.
Una
O sea,
oportunidad de calidad.
darles una oportunidades de calidad, que ellos tienen todas las habilidades, que solamente necesitan esta oportunidad para desarrollarlas.
Okay. So sorry, she's just saying that, Crecemos has given them the opportunity for all of their capacities and skills and talents to explode, to reach their potential.
Y lo más bello, por ejemplo, es que Vicky me pidió que si conseguíamos un maestro de música, porque ella ya canta con sus hijos en el grupo. Entonces es una manera de que ha sido una familia que vivía de mucha violencia, y de hecho ella era niña que trabajó en la calle de pequeña. Actualmente ya uno está en la universidad, en preparatoria, se quieren mejorar en la cuestión de la música. Entonces su vida definitivamente, su familia, no nada más de uno, ha cambiado de una manera impresionante. Me gustaría que en una próxima reunión a lo mejor pudiéramos invitarla a que compartiera ella su propia experiencia.
So she's saying that really a beautiful thing that happened with Vicky recently is that Vicky asked Socorro to help her find a music teacher because she wants to join the choir with her kids and sing in a music group, I think at church. So she's really engaging herself as well as with her kids in beautiful things. Her children are all doing very, very well in high school and university. And the impact on not just on the individual child, but on the whole family is super evident when you look at Vicky. And she's suggesting that next time we have a call like this, we should invite Vicky and she can tell us herself all about her experience. I'm sorry. I missed the point that all of this is particularly remarkable, right? Music and beauty and being together with her family and her children, because the family, like most families in the area, have suffered through a lot of violence. A lot of Vicky worked on the streets selling things from a very, very young age, and her life has just been all wrapped up in that kind of violent environment. And so, the fact that she's committing herself to these things like, her kids' education and music is all the more striking.
Socorro, I might come and stay a little there so I might get taller.
Is it too late? ¿Es demasiado tarde para Irene o no, Socorro?
Oh, ya, es tarde.
But you could certainly learn some violin or guitar, Socorro.
Sí.
I mean, Irene.
Sí, es increíble ver el tamaño, cómo se están desarrollando los niños que han participado desde pequeñitos. Sí, hay un impacto muy, muy visible en ese sentido.
Yeah, there's a visible impact on the kids. You can see it. The kids who've been with them for a long time, and you can see it in their growth patterns. So, Chachi, if you don't mind, I'll just say one quick thing as we finish here. This is beautiful, and this is a beautiful moment, and I appreciate so much Chachi, you and everyone, the initiative to have this together. As people may know, it's kind of a confusing moment for AFSI right now because a lot of things are changing in terms of funding and projects, and I said this to somebody yesterday. While so much it seems unclear about the future for us as AFSI USA, one thing is very, very clear, which is that bringing people here from the US in touch with the works of APSI around the world, like Crecemos, is a win-win, a win-win situation, a beautiful thing that's generating so much good. And so we will certainly continue to do this kind of thing, maybe even do it more. And in terms of, so this group for around Crecemos has been our first attempt in bringing together a group of families and people to really support one work and to build relationship and community and friendship with them. And we've learned so much. This year, we are going to try to begin a second opportunity. And so the confidence that we've gained with all of you in terms of the value that there is in this type of relationship allows us then to go and offer another similar opportunity to other people. So as we pray for Crecemos and each other, you can also pray for our next opportunity, that also, the right people hear about it and are moved to commit, so that they also can be opened up to the same kind of experience, and it can just continue to grow in the way that, as you said, Laura, the way that God wants this to grow. And it's not so much in our control, except to communicate it to as many people as we can. So thanks. Jessie, over to you to finish us out.
Yes. This is the end. Thank you so much, everyone, for connecting today, for sharing your experiences, for listening, and for your support, really. We will stay in touch. I think everyone has mine or Jackie's email address. And we'll keep sharing stories. We will continue hearing from you. And this is it. Thank you, and have a good rest of your Sunday.
Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias y les mandamos un
Thank
abrazo.
you. Gracias.
Gracias.
Bye.
Hasta luego.
Chao, chao.
Thank you.
Thank you.